my podcast, I've had 3 men say to me in the last week in starting this podcast, this is what they've said, and I'm pretty sure this says a story about a lot of things and about a lot of men, okay? Why maybe they're not getting the results in what they intend to get. So, this is what they've said to me. Good men too, by the way. Alright? They've said, congratulations, Gavin, on starting the podcast. I'll listen to the first couple, man. Sounds awesome. Looking forward to the future. Great. This is what they said to me. They go, just if you can just get it, they say, if you just get about 10, then you're kind of right. And then they say, if you get about a dozen, say 15, then you're right. And I said, what do you mean am I right? What do you mean by that? Well, the first time a gentleman said something, I kind of just said, oh yeah, no worries, I didn't know what he meant. Remember, this has happened to me 3 times in a week, okay? So it's got me thinking. Because, you see, and this is what I see the difference with a lot of men. I would never have started it if I wasn't going to do it forever, until. I would never have started something like a podcast just to do a couple of episodes. Because, that's what happens to a lot of men that are maybe don't have a crystal clear vision of their purpose and their mission. They're testing things out. I'll see how it goes. When you understand what you're doing and more importantly, why you're doing it, man, this is what I'm doing now. So, this is a question I think every man should ask themselves. Okay? And particularly when they're launching into something, like a business or whatever, right? Am I prepared to do this for the next 10 years? Am I prepared to do this in 20 years, in 30 years? See, I personally know quite a few men that almost they've got this 18-month kind of cycle that they're in, okay? They go great guns for 6 or 7 months. It starts to get a little bit hard. The last couple of months, they're just talking themselves out of it, focusing on why this is not happening, why that's not happening. Stop and then do something else. You're never going to see the fruit of anything, all right, unless you go the distance. I started looking at the bloke who lives on the inside in 1995, okay? In a real authentic way, man. I got to grow, I got to change. When that gentleman said, that mentor said, son, because I was a lot younger then, he goes, son, there's something in you that only you can fulfill. There's a mission, there's a purpose. So I started digging, and it started off with, I wanted to be a fighter. I wanted to be a professional fighter. I wanted to be the best in Australia, if you haven't heard my story, 5 years down the track, I got to live my dream. I was the Australian champion. But there's more. There's more. So I went to some, and then of course something else. I'm digging deeper. Could you imagine if I changed every 18 months? I just go around in circles. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you don't know what your purpose is, when you don't know what your mission is. So, if you remember the 3 men asking me the same similar things, if you can just get 10, if you can just get a dozen, 15 podcasts, you'll be right. Man, I'm right before I started it. I'm doing it because I'm going to be going until. So, and I think it's great, when there's certainty in your voice. Hey, first week, 7 countries. Second week, 10 countries. We're on, let's go. Let's inspire men all around the world. So, I don't know what's in you, but I know there's something great, and I know you're never going to find that greatness if you keep changing your mind and if you keep going the distance.